Welcome to the Arizona Daily Mix. I am Brad Perry. We're out here at the we're out here at the Phoenix Raceway for the spring NASCAR weekend. You're looking at the track, which is not NASCAR's yet. These are Indy cars. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit, which is going to be kind of fun. Lexi is with me. Lexi, where are you at this morning?
Okay, Brad, I am in Goodyear, like 20 minutes from you. I'm at one of the hotels where some of the drivers are staying, more specifically the driver who has our logo on his car.
I love it. I love it. And are you ready for this race car weekend?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm even more excited because I'm going to get to talk to one of the drivers.
Are you? Well, I'll tell you now, I'm also going to be telling you 4 things that you need to know later on in the show.
Yes.
But can we go back to that cam of the racetrack? Because it's amazing. It is the Phoenix Raceway track cam, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers start. And it's actually quieted down very nicely, Lexi, because they're running the Indy cars for right now. And speaking of that, let's bring in the queen of the racetrack, Latasha. Get over here, young lady. How you doing?
I'm good. Great to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you. You're a very busy young lady, because we have to mention that there are not one race, not 2 races, but 4 races happening, and one already did out here. But before we get to that, let's talk about how busy you've been here at the track with, let's see, school trips, concerts, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's been a full, not only weekend for NASCAR, IndyCar, but like you said, just leading into this, we've done so many community events. We even did a groundbreaking for a school that's going to open for the Tolleson Union High School District right down the street as well earlier this week with one of our drivers. Brad, you know, any opportunity to be in the community, I'm there.
I love it. All right, this is race weekend 1 of 2. We have also the fall race that was coming up. But let's talk about what is happening right now, because when I came out here, I was hearing a different noise than what I usually hear.
That's right. It's a historic weekend because we have IndyCar here with us. We'll have a doubleheader tomorrow with IndyCar and NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series tomorrow evening. And for IndyCar, they have not been here since 2018 at Phoenix Raceway, and they were on their own during that race weekend. And for this weekend, it's doubled up. And that's the historic part, is that we've never doubled up both NASCAR and IndyCar for a weekend.
So, and what's really interesting is that I was understanding that the Phoenix Raceway kind of like was built for Indy cars at first, kind of?
Yes. You know, historically, that's where we started, was IndyCar. Way back in the day, you know, we've been open since 1964 here at Phoenix Raceway, and the first rounds of racing were IndyCar. And so that was what we did. And so now we are fully NASCAR tracks, right? And for us to be able to partner up with IndyCar, it has been an amazing thing.
Oh man, this is such a great time. So it's going to be a great weekend out here watching all this go on. Also, as we know, that it doesn't stop this weekend with you guys giving back to the community, does it?
No, and it doesn't stop. It's for us, it's year round. We are continuously making sure that we're giving back, you know, between our field trip programs. Like you mentioned, the fall, we'll have mobile mammograms back in the fall. But for us, we just do our small part in doing what we can to help our community thrive.
All right. Let's get a serious question here, all right? And that is, Latasha, how long have you been here?
I am headed into my 4th season already.
4th season, and you're styling. Look at you, always looking good and everything. But the big question I have for you, do you ever get tired of this?
No, it's so fun. It just gives you so much energy, and it's just such a great. First of all, the best career decision I've ever made. But like, just look at the vibe. You came out here, we were dancing when you walked in, right? And so I love everything about it. So you know, we don't get tired. We just keep going.
And I think that's why it gets better and better each year, because of you and your leadership with this amazing staff and crew. That they are excited. They're here to welcome people each time. They're here to help people. And that's one thing that comes from up top down below. And I think that's why I asked you, like, do you ever get tired? Because some people be like, yeah, it's you know, just another racetrack. But no, you are very excited about this place.
I am very excited about this place. And while I'm the fortunate one to be able to lead Phoenix Raceway by being the president of Phoenix Raceway, we know that nothing would happen without the entire team. And for me, I have been really lucky to have such a phenomenal team from every single person at Phoenix Raceway. So that's what, honestly, the people here is what keeps me going.
I Like, there it is. Well, you are the queen of the racetrack, and I love it seeing you every weekend out here for a race weekend, which is really fun. And listen, people, she is approachable.
Yes.
Say hi to her. Let her know what's going on. If you want something, she's there to help out. I remember I asked for a pretzel one year, and she gave me like a dozen. I was like, I only needed one. It was good, so you got to check it out. So it's really nice. As we look on the track, as you see, you're going to see some different tires out there right now, and that's because NASCAR is heading west, and it's not going alone. They're sharing the track with stars of IndyCar for a desert double. Gabby McDonald has 4 things you need to know about this weekend at Phoenix Raceway.
After a pair of drafting tracks in our first road course of the 2026 season, NASCAR is gearing up for a trip a bit further west. While it is a mile in length, Phoenix Raceway is anything but normal. Ahead of this weekend's action in the desert, here are the 4 things you need to know about racing's Desert Jewel. Before we dive into anything about the track itself, every Cup Series race so far this season has one thing in common, and that's Tyler Reddick ending up in victory lane. After a winless 2025 season, 2311 has seemed to find the secret sauce for the 45 team, as Reddick is the first driver in history to win all 3 races to begin a season.
NASCAR's always been super competitive, but in this day and age where the field is so close, for us to be able to pull this off is just a true testament of teamwork, hard work in the offseason by everyone on this team, everyone at 2311. It's super special to be able to be on this kind of a run. We're just going to try to keep it going as long as we can.
Standing in Reddick's way of going for the 4-peat is none other than Team Penske. Home to 3 of the last 4 Cup Series champions, the team is combined for nearly half of the race wins at Phoenix in the next-gen era. Anytime the sport makes a stop in Arizona, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano are always a threat to be in the mix.
Next week, it starts to get a little bit more traditional, like here's where our speed is at as a company and as a race team. So we just try to run the best we can, and hopefully we can just have decent runs, and then we can figure out where your team is at.
No matter which driver takes the checkered flag at Phoenix, they'll have to navigate one of the more unique quirks you'll find at any track on the circuit, the famous dog leg just past the start-finish line. Known as an oddball curve going into turn 1, cars fan out producing 5-wide racing at times. One great move through the dog leg could help your day, while a bad one could easily ruin it.
Oh, trouble in the back and 2 cars in the wall.
Big wreck. They're still wrecking.
NASCAR sharing the spotlight this weekend. For the first time since 2023, NASCAR and IndyCar will hold court together at the same track. While it gives fans of both series a chance to experience the other, tire strategy will once again play a big part in the on-track action. IndyCar and NASCAR have a completely different tire setup, which will have Cup Series teams dealing with much different conditions at a track that was already notorious for significant tire fall-off.
I'm not excited for the probably confusing feeling we'll have with their rubber versus our rubber, but I drove for Chip Ganassi, so I was fully ingrained in IndyCar from 2018 to 21.
Yeah, I think the more horsepower will have a little bit of effect on that. Perhaps you're going to raise it a little bit, but the teams, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes as far as being preventative. Usually, as things evolve, they get smarter and they say, all right, well, if we want to run that air pressure, we got to run X camber, and so they'll make adjustments, and they always get a little better as time goes on.
It'll be a jam-packed weekend of racing in Phoenix with the IndyCar O'Reilly Series doubleheader on Saturday, followed by the Cup Series, closing things out Sunday afternoon with the Straight Talk Wireless 500. With your 4 things you need to know, I'm Gabe McDonald.
All right, remember it is NASCAR weekend. 3 big races still to go this weekend. Saturday with IndyCar starting at 1 o'clock. The O'Reilly cars at 5:30, and then Sunday the Cup Series at 12:30 p.m. And we got the O'Reilly Series right here on the CW7 Arizona, where we like to say, it's all good.
Skills to Speed, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers start.
There's tires rolling across in front of you. There's guys jumping out in front of you. There's cars leaving. They're going. So it's the pit road's unpredictable.
I've been really blessed throughout my career to actually be surrounded by phenomenal pit crews.
It's a real team. It's really like a locker room mentality with all of those guys.
We executed that pit road cycle really well, got out front, and ended up winning the race really in part because of that.
You're looking at the Phoenix Raceway Track Cam, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers start. And I'll tell you, it is a great weekend out here. I have the man, the myth, the legend himself to let us know how the speed is going to be out here. Devin Henry's with Sports Speed. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day at the racetrack.
It is. As we're walking down pit row here, I'm looking at, this doesn't look like the usual pit row that we're used to.
No, this year we got the NTT IndyCar Series joining us for the first time since 2018. This racetrack was actually built specifically for IndyCar back in the day in 1964. They've been gone since 2018, but now they're back to their roots in a historic weekend. First time ever, Brad, we have NASCAR and IndyCar on the same oval, same weekend.
I love it. And you got to come out for it because it's a total different setup, different things going on with it, which is really interesting, from the tires to the way they race on the track too. And that's something that you've been watching and seeing.
Yeah, so when you watch NASCAR race around Phoenix Raceway, 1 mile oval, low banked, they'll go like an average, maybe like 150 miles per hour. These Indy cars in practice is now averaging 175. That means max speed is nearly 200 miles an hour around this low banked oval. The speed here in IndyCar is absolutely insane.
And does the wind, the way the air is, anything like that, does that affect?
Oh, absolutely. Now, yesterday we had a very windy day, and we had the youngsters in the ARCA Menard Series. That tripped them up a little bit. The track gets hot, it gets slick, the wind comes out. Today's beautiful. There's no wind, there's no clouds in the sky, so that's going to be okay. But these Indy cars, they look like literal jet planes. And so, yeah, the wind will play a factor if it gets a little bit too breezy.
All right, let's talk about the rest of the weekend, because, again, this is just one of two of the races we have here. But we are pretty much not deep into the race season. We're just getting started. But what are we going to be seeing?
No, we're 3 races in right now to come here to Phoenix Raceway. And, of course, you can check out the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series right here on CW7, 5:30 tomorrow. And with that, you're going to have 2 GCU things happening if you're a Lope fan. First of all, Brent Cruz in the 19 car is sponsored by GCU. He won the ARCA race here last year. That car won this race back in March. And then a GCU alum, Nathan Bird, whose family has IndyCar roots, is actually racing as well in the 42 car.
Wow, this is so cool. And the 42 car, I saw that. Actually, I think I saw him driving in this morning.
You might have, yeah. It's a beautiful looking race car for Nathan Bird this weekend.
Oh my goodness, it's great. Okay, what about you? What do you got going on? Because you are out there giving us all the 411 on what's happening. So what do you got for us?
Well, first of all, be sure to check out Sport of Speed directly after the race here on CW7. And on top of that, at Devin Henry 77, we'll have interviews with Alexander Rossi, with Jesse Love, the defending champion, and so much more coming as well.
And with that said, you got to talk to somebody. Who was that?
Absolutely, the voice of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here on CW, Adam Alexander, about why Phoenix is so great. And on top of that, how difficult it's been having so much fun up in the CW booth.
Take a look.
Phoenix is a great championship city, and I'm not just talking about NASCAR. You know, the Super Bowl, you think about the waste management tournament that is there annually, and college football playoffs, the Final Four was there a couple of years ago. So across the board, Phoenix just embodies what championship sports is all about. When they remodeled Phoenix Raceway a handful of years ago, it just made it, in my mind, championship ready. Now it is very fan friendly, and the way the grandstand wraps around turns 3 and 4, that setup is just awesome. So I feel like Phoenix had a tremendous run, a very worthy host when you talk about hosting a championship weekend. Eventually, as we go through the rotation, you would have to anticipate somewhere down the line the championship will be decided there again. They just did an outstanding job, and it was a wonderful place, and the fans certainly, you know, came out in droves to watch championship weekend each and every year.
And we will get to hear you once again on March 7th for the GovX 200 here at Phoenix Raceway. But that CW booth, you guys had so much fun across the year with you, Parker, and Jamie. So my question is, how? The mindset, the attitude, over the course of 9 months, what was it about this group that allowed you guys to foster an atmosphere week in and week out to have so much fun at the racetrack?
You know, I could spend hours talking about people that were influential in my career. I've had so many people that were great to me, but I think one of the times that I went through the biggest growth spurt in my career is when I was working at Fox and they decided we're going to bring in a rotation of drivers every week in, you know, what was then the Xfinity booth and now the O'Reilly Auto Parts booth. And I have to admit, when that idea came about, I was uncertain about that because in TV, we like to rehearse, we like to prepare. But what that forced me to do was kind of change my style, my mindset, and my approach. It forced us to be conversational and kind of create this atmosphere of people just hanging out watching the race. And that is the attitude and the philosophy that I now bring. You know, Jamie and I are good friends. Jamie and I talk almost every day. Parker was someone that I knew as a competitor, but I had never worked with as a broadcaster. He and Janie got along great as racers. Our personalities meshed, and I would say across the board, just that overall thought process of let's be conversational, let's have fun, and let's just be three guys talking about what we see on TV. That's what really created it for us, and it was just so rewarding and fun to be a part of.
NASCAR has returned to Phoenix. That's right, the NASCAR O'Reilly Series is back at Phoenix Raceway, and we're excited to bring you all the action like never before. We'll be out there Friday morning like we are right now this morning, having a good time, and we want to make sure you are watching the main event Saturday, 4:30 on the CW7 Arizona. Don't miss a single lap.
Coming up, we're going to be enjoying breakfast with one of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series drivers, so stick around. You are looking at a picture of Phoenix Raceway, which that is not where we're at, but that is where Patrick will be a little bit later today. I'm with Patrick Sarapoli. He is driver of car number 48, and we're going to be enjoying breakfast and just chatting about everything. So tell me a little bit about the training process for your NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really exciting weekend to be out here in Phoenix. It's one of the most exciting races we have on the schedule. Training-wise, it's a 24/7 job getting prepped for these races. I mean, we are in the simulator as much as possible during the week, training with a couple people who are specific to training race car drivers, getting you ready for some of these grueling races, especially as we get later on into the summer. It's pretty nice weather out here in Phoenix right now, but you're always planning, whether it's debriefing from the last race or getting ready for the next one. There's a lot that goes into each of these events.
And so we are enjoying our breakfast, and we have like a healthy platter in front of us.
Yep.
You're talking about the training process. Is there like a dieting that goes into it, extra workouts that you're having to do, anything? Because it is grueling. You're in a car that's going extremely fast, and you're taking hard turns.
Right. I think a lot of it is just timing your meals, trying to get enough protein, energy, all that stuff. And it's crazy on a race weekend. You can have a lot of appearances, things to do. Yes. Sometimes it's easy to forget that you need to eat, need to hydrate. So you need to stay ahead of all that stuff. Make sure you time your meals right. Don't get an upset stomach while you're in the car.
That's fair.
All of that's important. So yeah.
And so there is a little fact that we may have left out. You are a doctor. You are Dr. Patrick, actually.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, you drove for the Truck Series, you drove for the ARCA Series, and then you, in the midst of that, were studying and becoming a doctor. Tell me a little bit about mixing all of that.
Yeah, I mean, both of these things have been huge passions in my life, motorsports and medicine. I grew up driving race cars. It's always been my dream and my passion to do it, so I'm really excited to have this full-time opportunity in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. But medicine and school, all that stuff has always been important as well. Anyone I've ever driven for, the requirement was that I had to do really well in school if I wanted to race. So I took that seriously. I was the first person in my family to go to college, became interested in medicine, thank you, and then ended up pursuing ophthalmology, so I'm a retina surgeon now, and I practice in Houston, and at the same time that's been happening, I've been racing on the side, and this opportunity came up, and so now I'm getting to live both of my dreams at the same time.
And how does it feel to now be racing in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series? This is just another step up in your career.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's what every kid dreams of. When the first time you buckle into a race car, you want to be racing full-time in NASCAR, and I'm getting to travel to places and compete at racetracks this year that I've only dreamed about or I grew up playing video games at, and now I'm racing with heroes of mine that I've grown up watching on TV, and to have a competitive chance to be in this big machine racing 48 Syfovre Chevrolet this year, I know we have a chance to go out and compete, and I want to go out and make the most of it.
Well, best of luck to you competing tomorrow and doing everything you have today, and we hope you take home your first win here at Phoenix Raceway.
Thank you very much. Me too. Fingers crossed, man. See you guys out at the racetrack.
In addition to race tomorrow, you can get your engines warmed up today with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series qualifying and practice runs live from the Phoenix Raceway. Check it out tonight starting at 5 on More Arizona. That's channel 7.2 and Cox Cable 115, and also on the CW app and CWTV.com.
We're so glad that you're watching CW7 Arizona today. Be sure to check us out online as well. See the trending stories that you need to know, program information, and so much more. It's all good over on CW7AZ.com.
Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. You're looking at a live shot of the Phoenix Raceway from the track cam, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers start. And we got so much more in this second half. In just a bit, we'll see how drivers Austin Hill is tackling the race races this weekend, and of course, a lot of other things going on. But one person I want to bring in who's going to give us a little bit of history, a little bit of excitement. That is Doug Bowles, who is president of IndyCar. And this is pretty cool. Everyone's excited. I know you are too, to bring Indy back to the Phoenix Raceway. How great's that?
It's been since 2018, right? So to be able to come back here, and there's so much history at this racetrack for IndyCar, we're really excited about it. And being able to partner with NASCAR, getting a chance to be partnered with the O'Reilly Series on Saturday, that's going to be a lot of fun. And for race fans that want to come see racing, there's an awful lot of it this weekend here at Phoenix.
Okay, you got to do this for some people because we have those NASCAR fans who see those cars, and we have people who are IndyCar fans, but they might not know too much about IndyCars. Talk about them, because it's a total different animal out there.
Yeah, and for most people, it's the best way to describe it is the cars that run in the Indianapolis 500. So they're an open wheel car. They're not fendered cars. They don't have hoods on them like a NASCAR car. A little bit different engine. We're smaller and lighter and faster, but we don't race typically side by side as close as like a NASCAR does. So that would be sort of the differentiator. Some of our drivers who've been in IndyCar before that have gone to NASCAR, there's a handful of those. Juan Pablo Montoya. A lot of the teams are on both sides, but it's a different racing for sure.
Yeah. And it's also a family affair for you, I'm understanding.
Yeah, so I've been around it forever. I've got my stepson's been involved in the sport as well, and my wife's involved in the sport, so it's just one of those things. And I'm also the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so I got a lot of racing juggling.
I love it. All right, let's talk about how the points work in IndyCar racing, because it's a lot different than NASCAR, right?
Yeah, so we don't have a playoff or a chase at the end of the season. So ours are just basically you get points based by each race, and that's how we end up with our championship. So you got to run the whole season, so it's a little bit different. The points are a little less too, so there's some differentiator for sure.
And how fast those go? How fast? Just ballpark it.
Well, at Indianapolis, they go about 240 miles an hour. So here, I think you'll see maybe a top speed of 190 or so, and average speed around 180. So about 30 miles an hour fast, 35 miles an hour faster probably than the Cup cars go.
Wow, and also the technology now that are in the cars. Some people might remember Indy when they were younger. I do. Yep. And I just remember them just having a steering wheel and driving around. Now it's so much more intense and so much more going on there.
Yeah, basically a rolling computer. So everything that changes from static state, we're paying attention to and making adjustments to. So it's like a rolling computer, but so is a Cup car, right? The NASCAR cars, there's so much technology in a NASCAR car and in an Indy car, and that's what makes our sport so fun.
I like it. All right, I don't want to start any fights or anything, but I mean, who's better, Indy or NASCAR? I don't want to start anything.
Well, look, I'm the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I have a NASCAR race and the Indianapolis 500, so I love them both. And what I love about this weekend is a great opportunity for everybody to come out and see racing. And I hope NASCAR fans fall in love with IndyCar, and I hope IndyCar fans fall in love with NASCAR.
I think they are. They're going to love it because it's racing all at once. I'm sorry putting you on the spot like that, but I know some people are wondering there. But no, Doug, thank you very much. Again, it is a great weekend for racing. As we mentioned, 2 races tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock out here at the Phoenix Raceway, and then goes into the O'Reilly Series that evening going on. So you got to check it out. And also, hey, we recently talked with NASCAR spokesperson Matt Humphrey about bringing IndyCar racing to Phoenix Raceway and why it feels like a full circle.
Back when Phoenix Raceway first started back in the 60s, this was really an IndyCar track. It was known as the Indianapolis of the West. Teams would come here and test and get their cars ready for the prestigious Indianapolis 500. So this is they come out here, get all the kinks worked out of their race cars, and then take them to Indianapolis where they compete for the most prestigious prize in American open wheel motorsports. So to have IndyCar back here, it's like a homecoming. IndyCar is considered an open wheel car. So they have, for safety on the rear wheels, they have some fenders that prevent ramping, but they're high speed, high precision, highly engineered machines. And so the route that they take around, the racing line around this racetrack, is completely different than what you see in a stock car. Stock cars, that's full contact sport. That's like football's race cars, right? And so, it's a full contact sport. You do that with an IndyCar, that's going to cause a lot of problems. So they have to really focus on getting top speed while avoiding some of those places where, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars and the NASCAR Cup Series cars, they'll go 6-7 wide past the start-finish line, down onto the aprons, into the dog leg. You can't do that in an IndyCar. You flat bottom, and you cause a lot of problems. So they're going to 2 completely different disciplines, 2 completely different lines, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch and fun to celebrate. There's really no other track like Phoenix Raceway in the world. So it's a dog leg shaped 1 mile oval. There's really no other track that's comparable to this, where the biggest oval where Indy cars compete on is Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is 2.5 miles, pretty much flat all the way around, 4 distinct turns in Indianapolis, big track, high speeds. Here, you got one long straightaway between turns 2 and turns 3. Really, handling is going to be key for these guys and gals that get out here on the race course that weekend. So it's going to be fun to watch to see how they navigate. This is the first time they've been here since 2018. Some of these drivers were in the field back here in 2018. Many of them were not. So this is the first taste of Phoenix Raceway and the challenges that it presents to racers all over the world.
In addition to the race tomorrow, you can get your engines warmed up today with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series qualifying and practice runs live from the Phoenix Raceway. Check it out tonight starting at 5 on More Arizona. That's channel 7.2 and Cox Cable 115. Also, you can go on the CW app and CWTV.com.
The Phoenix Track Cam is sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers start.
Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. You're looking at a live shot of the Phoenix Raceway Track Cam, sponsored by Tulsa Welding School, where skilled trade careers are started. So this is really cool. Okay, here we go. Let me talk to you, because we are talking about a full weekend of racing with IndyCar and NASCAR. So much going on here, and I had someone who took a look at it. Take a look at this.
Austin, obviously the season just started, so only a couple races in, you do have one win under your belt, but overall, how would you just assess how everything's going right now?
I mean, we're starting off about as good as you could hope for. You know, Daytona, like you said, we're able to get the win there, which is always fun. To get that knocked out of the way early, to be in victory lane is always great for everyone at RCR, ECR. You know, we've had fast cars for the first 3 races, and we hope to keep it rolling.
When I talked to you in victory lane in Daytona, you said there was something special about this year's team and that it was just a little bit different. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so I just think that everyone on the team, before ever even going to Daytona, we just have a little bit different demeanor about ourselves, just the way we're carrying ourselves this year. I just think that we have a lot of momentum right now, and I think it started in the off season on how we were going to approach the season, and it's showing so far.
And I feel like that fits your personality as a driver, because I think you've shown, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And some people like that, some people don't, but you've really just taken on that persona, it seems.
Yeah, and I think I've kind of bled that into the 21 team a little bit, which I think the entire 21 group has always been that way, but I think we've kind of ramped that up even more. I want to have a lot of fun at this. There was a lot of races last year that if you could go back and change the outcome, you would, but you can't live in the past. You have to just live in the present. Even a place like Phoenix, where I've not had a ton of success there. I've ran inside the top 5 a few times, but I think that if we go there and we unload with a really fast United Rentals Chevrolet, that we can have a shot at running inside the top 15, top 20, and have a great day there on the Cup side. And then obviously on the O'Reilly side with our Bennett Chevrolet, we're just going there to win. That's our only goal for that race.
We were just kind of talking about it. You mentioned your daughters cheer.
Yep.
So is this competitive cheering that they're doing?
Yep.
Is this a new thing for you guys that you all are taking on as a family this year?
It is. So we started it a little bit last year, and was kind of getting our feet wet into it, and this season it's been full blown. I mean, we're diving right in.
Have you instilled some of that like competitive nature in your daughters? Have you
100%.
seen it in them?
Oh yeah. So the very first time that they both competed, my oldest daughter Lindley, they won. And then my middle daughter, Kinsley, I don't remember exactly where they finished. I want to say they finished 5th, and she was extremely mad, upset. Definitely my little one, Barrett, no matter what he competes in, he is going to be very mad if anything other than winning doesn't happen.
Sticking with family, I saw where you posted on Instagram putting a flag at your, your grandfather's grave?
Yeah, my grandfather, yeah.
Can you tell the story of just like where that started?
So, my Aunt Rhonda, actually, she's the one that kind of started this. So he passed away, I think we're going on 5 years now. He is one of the reasons why I'm where I am today. One of the first races back after he passed, we won that race, and it just was one of those like weird races. Like afterwards, you're like, man, I felt like I had some help there. We go on and we win the race, and then my Aunt Rhonda sends me a picture in our big family group chat and was like, hey, I hope this is okay, but we're gonna put a checkered flag for the win. It's been a tradition ever since. So every win that we ever have throughout the year, we put a checkered flag up. Everyone was asking me after Atlanta, how did you save the car? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I really don't. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe I had some help. It's just, it kind of gives you chills thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, Austin, appreciate your time today, and good luck just going forward this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. You're looking at the Phoenix Raceway track thanks to the Tulsa Welding School cam. And I'll tell you, it heated up very quickly out here. It got very warm, and I think one reason is because of Mr. Ryan Price here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
So, listen, you're on fire. You're just coming off a win. You're coming looking good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm excited. Winning the Clash was a big deal for us, and really a great way to get us some momentum. So coming to Phoenix, where it's beautiful out here, the sun's shining, it's blue skies. We're excited.
And I like you have a nickname that you got to really pay attention at the quarter mile, because he's called the quarter mile killer. How is that? That is awesome. That's where you pull it together. You take over.
Yeah, that's really where I cut my teeth up in the New England area, was racing on quarter mile bull rings. So quarter mile killer. I might have to make a T-shirt out of that.
That would be great.
That would be great. But yeah, no, it's now we got to adapt that killing mindset to the mile that we got here.
Yeah, this is awesome. We're in front of your garage. You got to come by and see them, because literally the name's on the garage. I was like, you didn't even know this was your garage until you saw it.
Yeah, we just got here. We just landed yesterday afternoon, so I'm still kind of walking around the racetrack. I like to spend time before we actually get on the track, walking around the facility. So yeah, you're learning more about this place than I am right now.
We're learning together. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to check them out. Tell them again, the car number is?
Number 60.
So come check them out. It is the quarter mile killer, Ryan Price. So, hey guys, all right, we got more stuff for you out here. Some great things happening. Take a look and see.
Find CW7 Arizona on all your favorite platforms: YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live TV, Fubo TV, DirecTV Stream, DirecTV, Dish, Cox, and Sparklight. CW7 Arizona, it's all good.
Camera. Welcome back to Arizona Daily Mix. Okay, look out on the track here, because what's happening right now is they are getting the stage ready, because it's a party out here, which is really fun. And earlier we talked with Latasha Cossey, the president of the racetrack, and she is just a remarkable woman. And Teresa recently had the chance to sit down with her and learn some surprising things about her history with the sport.
In 2022, you made history by becoming the first Black female track president in the 75 years that NASCAR had existed up to that point. Were you a NASCAR fan?
No, I can't say I was a NASCAR fan. I honestly, I became a NASCAR fan, but honestly knew nothing about the true sport of NASCAR.
How do you fan? Are you somebody like sits quietly? Are you nervous? Do you yell?
No, at a NASCAR race, you don't necessarily have to yell. The sound is doing all the noise for you, right? So you don't necessarily have to yell. But now that I've gotten to know the sport, but also gotten to know actual drivers and teams, I get really excited. I get more emotional than anything, because, I've gotten to know them, and I'm like, oh, yes, Ryan Blaney, or oh, yes, Raja Carruthers. I'm super excited.
You've been described as, I'm quoting, a walking party. So I'm wondering, how important is it to you as a leader to reflect the joyfulness of the job?
Yes, well, I have been described as a walking party for a very long time. I think it's just the nature of my personality, is just that we should be having fun as much as we can. And I really put that on my team as well. I want them to have fun. If my team's not having fun, then our fans can't have a good time. And so I also want them to be in an environment, that when you're smiling and when you're laughing, you're your best self, right? And so I want them to be in that type of environment too.
You've been extremely successful. Obviously, in your career, you have a couple of teenage boys.
Yes.
How do you model success for them?
Yeah, you know, it's so interesting. Like you said, I have a 13 and a 17-year-old, and you know, there are these days when, you know, you're at work and you're like, oh, everything's so great, right? And then you're at home and you're with your husband and you know, and your family, and you're like, oh, everything's so great, right? But then, like, when things are not great, you're like, oh, I'm the worst mom in the world, right? And so you get this mom guilt, or you get these things, right? Because life happens, and life, you know, lifes. My priority is always mom. I think that there is just this balance of, you know, having a support system, having people around you, but also prioritization.
You've gone around in the car, right, with a driver.
course.
What's the fastest you've gone?
Well, no, so I have not gone around in a car with a driver. I'm always on the track doing pace car rides. I drive myself. I've driven others around the track. I'm not going in with the driver. For now that I built these relationships, I already know what those drivers are going to do to make sure that I'm as terrified as possible. So I have not done that yet. I'll get back to you on that, but you know, they go, I mean, 200 miles per hour, and I mean, I just can't quite process that.
Do you feel pressure to perform because you are the first?
You know, I wouldn't per se say I feel pressure to perform because I am the first. Am I going to provide opportunities for others, for other young girls, young boys even, really provide opportunities to inspire others and open doors, right? Am I going to be a voice for the voiceless? So I feel like that's where the pressure is like, what am I going to do? What can I do? You know, I've worked really hard to get to this position. My resume tells everything that it needs to say. It just, I so happen to be a black woman and just so happen to be the first to take on this role. But I knew what I could bring to NASCAR with the phenomenal team around me.
You mentioned that you're a Valley native.
Yes.
I have to ask, what were you like in high school?
Well, I like to say I was pretty cool in high school, but I played in the band. I played the flute in the band, the marching band. One thing that my mom always says, she was super involved. She'd say I have like the most diverse group of friends, right? Like I would have, you know, my friends who have absolutely nothing to do with the band, have my band friends, and I would connect everybody. So I would say I probably naturally have always been like a connector, but didn't really know it.
Well, when you pull up with the flute case, I mean, everyone's impressed.
I mean, it's the coolest thing.
Obviously. Well, this month at CW, we're celebrating remarkable women, of course. What makes a woman remarkable, and who were some of the remarkable women in your life?
Yeah, well, you know, I would say first, starting with the remarkable women in my life, I could probably, you know, go through a list. But of course, my mom, I mean, she's phenomenal. If not for my parents, I would not be able to work the way that I do. They have, you know, helped us tremendously with our kids still to this day, helping us raise those kids as well. You know, it takes a village. I also like to say Julie Giese, right? If not for Julie, I wouldn't have this opportunity truly at NASCAR. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of this opportunity. She saw something in me that, you know, I didn't see in myself. She's been phenomenal. She's been a phenomenal support system as well. Even though we are peers, I see her more as a mentor of mine. And I definitely think that I have multiple Julies in my life, but Julie Giese has been phenomenal.
And we should say she was the previous track president at Phoenix Raceway.
Yes.
And definitely like part of a sisterhood.
Yes, 100% part of a sisterhood. You know, when she came here, you know, I was here to support her and help her as she was going to do something so major by investing so much money and recreating truly Phoenix Raceway. And she needed the community to support her, and she had someone like me that can help her with those connections, and she did a phenomenal job of recreating. I mean, there's nothing like Phoenix Raceway. It's special, and it's special in so many ways, not just because of the facility itself, but the people, and a lot of that has to do with her.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down, and we can't wait for this season at Phoenix Raceway.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait either.
Do you feel your own need for speed? Well, you can drive a race car of your own at Andretti's. Check it out. Andretti's just opened up a brand new location here in Glendale, and with me is Shannon. This place is ginormous. You guys have so much to offer here. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys have here?
Yeah, not only do we have the go-karting, we've got arcade games, we've got VR, Hologate, we've also got laser tag, and we've also got bowling as well. It's duck pin bowling.
Okay, can you tell me a little about duck pin bowling? Because I've done it once before, but it's different for those who don't know what it is.
Yeah, so instead of like having to do the whole socks and shoes ordeal going on, we have little mini bowls. It's not a full-on bowling alley. The kids can bowl. It's easier for them as well. It's a good time.
This is a new location, separate from Chandler. There's one thing that's different. What is it?
So our track is a little bit different than theirs. We've got two separate tracks, our green track and our blue track. They do as well have two separate tracks, but ours is gonna be a little bit different. So come check ours out.
Perfect. And it's summertime. We're wrapping up summertime, but it's still hot. We want to come indoors and do something. So you guys are running a summer fun pass. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, on our website we are running a summer fun pass. We've got 3 different options for arcade play and for racing, or both if you want to do both. All information is going to be on the website.
Perfect. Okay, so you mentioned arcade games. Do you know how many arcade games you guys have here? There's just so many surrounding us.
1, 2, I don't know how many, but
right?
Do you want to play arcade games?
I do. Can I go play?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna go and play some arcade games. I think I'm done with all that arcade play, but that made me starving.
Oh,
and you guys have a full menu and bar menu, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's on the table in front of us?
Yeah, so we've got our classic pepperoni pizza right here, brisket nachos, our famous Rucker burger. It's got brisket and barbecue ranch on that one. If you come over, we've got the chicken tenders and fries, and then we've also got my personal favorite, our buffalo chicken flatbread. And right above it with the drinks, you come in with the spiked strawberry lemonade. We've got our rum stacker. We've got our raspberry lemon drop, and my second favorite is gonna be our mango margarita.
That all looks so delicious. You guys also do birthday parties, corporate events, everything that people can come, play, and get some food and drink.
Oh yeah, we've got a billion packages you can choose from. We've got racing for birthdays and corporate events, as well as food packages to go along right with it.
Perfect. And all this talk about racing has reminded me that we haven't even raced yet. So should we do that?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
And give us a thumbs up if you're ready to race.
All right, in addition to race tomorrow, you can get your engines warmed up today with the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series qualifying and practice runs live from Phoenix Raceway. Check it out tonight, starting at 5 o'clock on More Arizona. That's Channel 7.2 and Cox Cable 115. Also, you can check it out on the CW app and at CWTV.com. What a morning. What a great morning out here. And Lexi, I understand you are pretty much now in a cornfield. Where are you?
Yeah, I am on the side of the road because the hauler parade just wrapped up in the campgrounds and we got a little stuck coming back to you guys. You can hear it's really loud. There's cars all over because everyone's excited for the race weekend. Who's not?
I love it. And you love the parade? The parade's been pretty cool?
It looked really cool, but they were honking their horns. They were ready to get it going.
All right, Lexi, well, great job out there. Also, we are going to be back on Monday with some of our favorite restaurants, so you got to check them out. Have a great day. Remember, it's NASCAR weekend here on the CW7 Arizona.